Tonight on TrojanVision News. Troy University students could be facing some serious consequences if they are caught using artificial intelligence for schoolwork. We'll have more on that coming up.
House lawmakers hold a second vote on who will become the next speaker. I'm Skyler Henry on Capitol Hill as Ohio Republican Jim Jordan looks to win over enough support to earn the gavel.
And representatives from Gray Television visited the Hall School of Journalism and Communication to show students what they have to offer. Stay tuned. TrojanVision News starts right now.
From Troy University's Broadcast and Digital Network Earl Hutto Studio, this is TrojanVision News.
Hello and welcome to TrojanVision News for October 18th. I'm Emma Ellis.
And I'm Emily Clegg. Thank you for joining us. Artificial intelligence is a new technology that uses computer algorithms to replicate human behaviors. Although this is a beneficial resource, it should not be used for schoolwork, and students caught using it could be facing some serious consequences. You've probably heard of artificial intelligence, a new technology that is designed to mimic human tasks. However, the use of AI in the classroom has raised concerns about academic integrity.
I think we're going to see an increase in the number of people that attempt to do or use AI as a means to supplement their work.
Troy University currently doesn't have its own policy about artificial intelligence, and although this is in the works, professors have still taken it upon themselves to update their syllabi to include a section about AI.
I think at this particular point in time, they're paying attention to the changes in the writing, not necessarily so much the style, but the information that's being given to look at it, and then they're going back and checking. A lot of our faculty still use Turnitin for a variety of papers and all.
Using artificial intelligence for schoolwork is considered plagiarism, which is not something the university takes lightly.
Consequences could be anything from, a disciplinary warning or probation, which basically allows them to stay in school but puts them on notice, all the way up to a suspension or expulsion for a period of time.
The moral of the story is
shortcutting is not the way to go. Do your work, do your own work, present your own work. You may or may not get caught doing it, but is it really worth the future of your education?
Troy University does not currently have an AI policy, but it is coming soon.
Today, representatives from Gray Media spoke to students interested in careers in broadcast news. Question many college students have a difficult time answering. How are they going to get a job after graduation? This week, representatives from Gray Television and several news directors from across the state of Alabama visited the Hall School of Journalism and Communication to help students answer just that.
We're pretty passionate about hiring the best and brightest, and I admit I'm a little bit biased, as you could probably tell from my shirt, but I feel like Troy's a great place to do that.
Throughout the day, students attended workshop sessions, a lunch and learn, and had their resume reels reviewed.
It was amazing. I feel like they talked about so many different things that I had learned in classes here at Troy, and it helped me to really feel prepared.
What does Gray Television hope students take away from these sessions?
I hope more than anything else they take away the importance of journalism, not only as as they start their careers, but just the importance it is to our democracy. We hold the powerful accountable. Every day we have the opportunity to change the world as a journalist, and I hope that mission doesn't get lost in a lot of the noises out in the world today.
As for what Dale says students should aim to do,
get it right, get it fast, get it on the air.
So the next time you turn on your TV, you just might be seeing an old classmate who has become a brand new Gray employee. If you would like to apply for internships or jobs with Gray Television, you can do so at gray.tv/careers.
While it might not be comfortable to talk about certain mental health topics, some Troy students were able to have a discussion on Tuesday to better understand each other's thoughts. The Troy Psychology Club hosted the event that discussed multiple issues in the mental health field, including the role of medication in America and the disparity in mental health treatment between genders, races, and religions. Psychology Club President Megan Shadron stresses the importance of these conversations.
It's super important to develop your opinion on all of these topics, even if they do happen to be slightly controversial, just because they will definitely come up at some point within our jobs in different conversations. So it's good to kind of develop your own opinion.
If this is the type of event that sounds interesting to you, but you weren't able to make it, the Troy Psychology Club will host other events through the semester. Next up for the club is a Halloween party and costume contest with a prize next week. You can also keep up with the club on Instagram at Troy Psychology Club.
And keeping it on campus, right now Troy's quad looks more like a pumpkin patch thanks to this year's pumpkin painting event. Pumpkin painting started at 5 o'clock and lasts until 7 this evening. Pumpkins and paint will be provided. Students can find a place to sit on the quad and enjoy making their own Halloween decorations. This year's event is sponsored by the University Activities Council, Freshman Forum, and the Troy AKAs. Again, that event is happening right now and will end around 7 o'clock.
Joran Vandersloot has confessed to the 2005 murder of teen Natalie Holloway.
In court, he admitted to kicking her in the face and then bludgeoning her to death when she refused his sexual advances.
Vandersloot detailed Natalie's death as part of his plea agreement and the federal extortion against Natalie's mother, Beth Holloway.
And in an interview, Vandersloot confesses to dragging Holloway's body into the ocean after he used a cinder block to bash in her face.
Holloway's mother, Beth, spoke to the media after this morning's hearing.
She says the nightmare is finally over.
It's been 18 years since Natalie disappeared, and Natalie would be 36 years old today. I still miss her every day. It's been a very long and painful journey, but we finally got the answers we've been searching for all these years. We finally, today, we got justice for Natalie.
Vandersloot will now have credit for time served in Peru.
That's where he is serving drug trafficking and murder charges for the death of another student, Stephanie Flores, in 2010. One of Stephen Perkins' family lawyers say they weren't allowed to view the police camera footage of his shooting after flying from Chicago to do so.
According to attorney Cannon Lambert Sr., the Alabama law enforcement agency says Lambert needs to fill out a form first before it will even consider letting him look at the video.
Perkins died on September 29th after the Decatur police shot him. Aaliyah is investigating the case.
Home camera footage from a neighbor indicated police shouted at Perkins to get to the ground and immediately started firing at him.
A family member who spoke with AL.com today believes the government agency's move is a stalling tactic.
Daily protests had been going on in Decatur with calls for the release of the footage and the firing of the police officer who shot Perkins.
The House continues to struggle to elect a new Speaker of the House as Republicans are divided about who should lead.
That's right. The debate comes as time is ticking down until the next government shutdown, and Congress is expressing a need to pass military support for Israel and Ukraine. Skylar Henry has more details from Capitol Hill.
The House held another round of voting to elect a new Speaker, and Jim Jordan lost some support among House Republicans.
Buchanan. Donalds.
Jim Jordan says he has no plans to drop out of the race, and he's looking to win over the Republicans who currently do not support him.
I already proven I can get from the most conservative members of the conference to the more moderate members of the conference. So got a whole cross-section of the conference. It's important that we get the last few.
Jordan can only afford to lose 4 votes and still reach the 217 needed to win. And this process has exposed some deep rifts within the Republican conference.
I think we're a mess.
There's now a growing chorus of people, including former House Speakers Newt Gingrich and John Boehner, calling for Speaker pro tempore Patrick McHenry to be made temporary Speaker and push this contentious vote to a later date. Ohio Congressman David Joyce plans to file a motion to do that, saying by empowering Patrick McHenry as Speaker pro tempore, we can take care of our ally Israel until a new speaker is elected. But doing so would require making a deal with Democrats, which is a no-go for some.
I think we should get a Republican speaker. I've been very clear about that. I think that's where the conference is. That's what our rules suggest. So let's get a Republican speaker and get about the people's business.
Jordan says they'll vote until they have a speaker. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
On our nation's roadways, teenagers are at the highest risk of being involved in a fatal crash.
But Danya Backus reports on a new study showing that that risk appears to be dropping.
Teenagers were behind the wheel of these two pickup trucks when they crashed in Oklahoma 10 months ago. Police say one truck swerved into the other, leading to a collision that killed a passenger. Crashes with young drivers are common, but new data shows signs of improvement. The study from the Governor's Highway Safety Association found fatal accidents involving drivers under 21 dropped 38% from 2002 to 2021. At the same time, deadly crashes among drivers 21 and older rose 8%.
We were very, very surprised.
Pam Shadle-Fisher authored the report.
We are absolutely encouraged by it, and we think we've been doing the right things to get there.
Fisher says a major reason for the drop is changes to how teens get a license.
Many states now have graduated driver's license laws. They restrict teens from driving at certain times alone, like late at night. They also can limit how many other young people are in the car without an adult. Some laws ban teens from using electronic devices while driving, even hands-free. Another possible factor, many teens are waiting to get a license. Earlier this year, we talked to Catherine Franklin, who waited until she was 18.
I really was not interested in driving. I didn't really enjoy the idea of it.
The goal we're trying to get to is zero, plain and simple. We don't want any young person to be injured or killed in a crash.
Fisher believes more driving education programs and an expansion of graduated licenses can put young people on the road to fewer traffic deaths. Danya Backus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Well, Emma, I don't know about you, but I've really been enjoying the sunny skies we've had today.
Me too, Emily, but I wonder how long the sunshine's going to stick around. Quindarius, what can you tell us?
Well, Emma, I will tell you just when we come back from break if these sunny skies are going to stay.
Try to call him again.
There's no signal.
Try.
Nothing's working.
Well, just
Everything's down.
This is so bad. I just need out there by himself.
Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ready.gov.
Now, your weather on TrojanVision News.
I'm Quindarius Corner, and I'm here at your TrojanVision weather. Looking at campus, we see that we're seeing a few clouds in the sky, but a lot of sunshine, and I will tell you more on our daily weather. Looking at today's skies are fair, with the temperature being 76, with humidity being 39, with the pressure being 30.09 inches, and the wind coming from the southeast at 7 miles per hour. And looking at so far today, the high has been 74, with the record high being 90 in 2007. And so far today, the low has been 44, with the record low being 31 in 1943. And so far today, we have seen no rain. Looking around the states, we see that Huntsville and Birmingham are 73, with Phoenix City being 74, with Montgomery being 75, and also Dothan being 75, with Troy and Mobile being 76. Looking around the states, we see around in the southeast, we see that temperatures are ranging from the high 70s to the low 60s. And looking at our friends here in the north, we see that temperatures are ranging for them in the low 40s to the high 50s. Looking at Thursday, we see that Thursday, Alabama really is not seeing any rain or any clouds coming in, with also Friday being the same thing, with Saturday seeing nothing but sunshine, and also Sunday. Looking at tonight's temperatures are going to be 47, with the skies being clear, with the winds coming from the southeast at 5 miles per hour. Looking at tomorrow, we see the temperature is going to be 74 with mostly cloudy skies. We might see a few cloudy clouds with the winds coming from the south by 5 to 10 miles per hour. Looking at our 4-day forecast, we see Thursday being 0% chance of rain with the high being 74 with the low being 56, with Friday having a 20% chance of rain with the high being 78 and the low being 50, with Saturday having 0% chances of rain with the high being 77 and the low being 53, with also Sunday with 0% chances of rain with the high being 75. Now that has been your weather. Now back to the news desk.
Looking forward to having some lows in the 50s. Coming up on TrojanVision News, a space-age pizza delivery truck from the 1980s serves up a slice of nostalgia to the highest bidder. Jeremy Roth has more in today's Take a Look at This.
And the Trojan soccer team is looking to get their first conference win down in the Bayou of Louisiana. Simon Schuessler has what you need to know coming up in sports.
Beating the train? It's a deadly game.
Come on, dude. You can beat it.
Always stop at crossings. Never drive around gates or flashing lights.
What's the matter, you chicken?
It's not only illegal, it'll get you killed.
Buck, buck, buck.
Remember, the train always wins, so let it. Drive safe, Alabama. A message from your Alabama Department of Transportation.
Dreams quickly become distant memories, unless we do something about it. Do everything in our power to learn to lead. At Troy University, we offer leadership opportunities from day one. We're dedicated to teaching a new generation to lead change. Do you have what it takes to change the world?
Now, the latest in Trojan sports on TrojanVision News.
Welcome to your TrojanVision Sports. I'm Simon Schuessler. The Trojan softball team is now in the home stretch of their fall schedule. After facing Snead State at home and traveling to Tallahassee to take on Florida State last week, the squad is back at home to face Chipola tonight in a game that started at the top of our broadcast. The last two games of the fall for Troy will be a doubleheader next Wednesday at home versus Enterprise State. That will be the team's last game until February when the regular season begins. And there goes a saying that you miss all the shots you don't take. Well, even the shots that the Trojan soccer team are taking, well, they're not hitting the mark as of late. It seems the Trojans have gotten colder as the weather has gotten colder, as their last win was on September 3rd. The Trojans will get another shot tomorrow night to get that elusive win down in Monroe, Louisiana versus ULM. This is one of only 3 regular season games left in the year, so if there was ever a time to get hot, it would be now. Can't make it to Louisiana? Me either. Luckily, tomorrow's game will be on broadcast on ESPN+. And the volleyball team, well, they're similar to the soccer squad in that they will also face ULM this week. That's where the comparisons stop. The Trojan volleyball team has been dominant as of late, winning 9 games in a row, including 6 shutouts in that time period. Troy has also swept the Sun Belt Conference Weekly Awards 2 of the past 3 weeks. The team will look to make it a double-digit streak this weekend with a series at Fant Ewing Coliseum. Friday's game is set for 6 p.m. with Saturday set for 2. Both games will also be streamed on ESPN+. There's good and bad news if you're a Trojan football fan. The bad news is that the Trojans don't play a football game this week. The good news is the squad enters the bye week on a 4-game winning streak while holding their last 3 opponents to a combined 10 points. For reference, Troy has not scored below 13 points in any game this year. Head coach John Summerall is pleased with the recent performance of his squad.
We're playing better the last few weeks. We've cleaned up some critical areas that we need to improve upon. Offensive line and tight end play has been cleaner, so we've given up less sacks and had less negative plays in the run game. That's probably been the biggest growth that we've had.
The Trojans next take the field next Saturday in San Marcos versus Texas State. That game will kick off at 6 p.m. and will be broadcast on ESPN Plus and the Troy Sports Radio Network. Emma and Emily, soccer is one of those sports that kind of flies under the radar, but I love watching me some Trojan soccer team. I hate seeing their struggles as of late. I'm hoping that they can go down to Louisiana and get that elusive win.
Yes, I sure hope so.
And Simon, if Trojan fans can't make it to the game, where can they watch it?
Absolutely. It's going to be on ESPN Plus.
Thank you, Simon.
Thank you.
Arts, concerts, and Halloween costumes.
Those are just some of the things you can expect during this year's Troyapalooza. Paige Ray learns more in this edition of Trojan Talk.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Trojan Talk. I'm Paige Ray. Joining us today is Carrie Jackson, the International Arts Center Director and Curator. Carrie, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me, Paige.
Of course. So we are preparing for a really neat event. It's still kind of young, but as we were saying before this interview started, it is growing and growing, and that is Troyapalooza. Is that how you say it?
Yes, that is right.
Okay.
Yeah, Troyapalooza.
And so tell me a little bit about what we can expect this year.
So Troyapalooza is going to have lots of entertainment. Our biggest star part of the event is Populous, which they'll put on 2 sets, a full performance that will last from around 7 to about 9. Oh, wow. So it's going to be a full concert, and also along with the performance, we're going to have a lot of food, to bring everybody in and to enjoy. Funnel cakes, that's the key word, right?
Yeah, fried Oreos.
Fried Oreos and hot dogs and hamburgers. Also, they can expect some fun art activities. We're going to be screen printing t-shirts with the design made by one of our students, Rihanna Thompson, who did all our marketing. And we will be able to offer that activity so they can make their own screen printed t-shirts and wear their own art later.
I love that.
And so that'll be a lot of fun in a photo booth, which our photography students will also be helping put on. And we'll also have inflatables.
Oh my gosh.
And the list goes on and on. Some new additions this year. We'll have some slam poetry by our English department to start before Populous starts.
Okay.
And also we have a design class that is making a big sculpture that you can interact with. Also a costume contest.
Oh yeah, because we're close
Can't
to Halloween.
forget that. So we encourage everyone to come dressed in Halloween costumes. And there will be prizes and a moment between sets where they can go up on stage, and we'll have judges. They get to choose the winners, and they get to leave with some gift certificates from local businesses.
Carrie, that's a lot.
It is, and it's so much fun to bring all of our students out and to just have a great time with them. And this event is sponsored by so many different departments and colleges and organizations on campus. It's a long list that we have of collaborators. So it's just a really unique event.
Absolutely. And talk to us a little bit about how this event came to be. This is the 3rd year for it, correct? And from what I understand, it came out of just wanting to do something nice for students.
Right. After COVID, and we all came back to just try and get things back to normal life, we thought that it would just be a great opportunity to pull together different organizations and colleges and have an event for the students. They missed out on a lot of their student experiences, and so we thought this would be a great way to give back to them and just show the support from the different organizations and departments and around campus for our students.
And it stuck around.
It has, and each year it gets bigger and better.
Yeah, I love that. Now, Jeff, our behind the scenes man, can you put up that logo for us? Because it's really neat. And like you mentioned, all of this, students are involved every step of the way, from the design, from the activities that's going to be there. it's for students by students almost.
Exactly, and that's something we do at the International Art Center. That's something we really focus on. So we wanted to pull that out and, obviously do the same thing for this big event. So our students make it happen. Populous, all the students playing instruments and performing, all the students that help with the art activities. It's student run.
Where and when and what else do they need to know? Is there admission fee? Is it free? What do they need?
Well, it's free, and so they will get free entertainment, free art activities, free food. It's at the International Art Center Plaza. That's where we'll have the art activities, and also the amphitheater in the Janice Hawkins Cultural Arts Park.
Wow, it's sprawling.
It is. So the performance by Populous will be at the amphitheater, and the food will be set around the park. And that will be October 24th, and that's a Tuesday, and doors open at 6:30.
Perfect. And we mentioned before this started how the people in the dorms there tend to gravitate toward the event. People really enjoy this. Well, Carrie, this sounds like it's going to be awesome. And you did mention this is primarily for Troy University community, including students, faculty, and staff. Though more than welcome to
Definitely. We're targeting our students. This is almost so it's an opportunity for us to do something really nice for them as the university. But anyone's welcome to come within the Troy University community. So we're just open, and it's free, and it's a lot of fun, so we hope everyone comes and joins us.
Yeah, well, Carrie, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. We know it's going to be a lot of fun, and we look forward to seeing it.
Thank you so much.
Of course, and thank you for joining us on this edition of Trojan Talk.
A blast from your pizza past that once hit the open roads
is now hitting the auction block. Jeremy Roth has today's. Take a look at this.
A weird and wild vintage pizza delivery vehicle going up for auction could serve up a slice of nostalgia for one lucky bidder. This is the 1985 Domino's Pizza Triton A2 delivery car. Originally commissioned by the pizza chain's founder, the vehicle was designed with custom pie warmers on board and boasted an impressive 80 miles per gallon. Only 10 Tritons were ever made, and only a few remain today. This one is set to go up for auction in November, and although Mecum Auctions hasn't yet released an expected price, the last one was sold by Bonhams for nearly $45,000. So, if you have a taste for a cheesy 80s vibe and you've got the dough, there's no topping this age-old space-age pizza-mobile. A blast from the past had bookworms buzzing in New York when the Larchmont Public Library received a returned book that was almost 90 years overdue. Stamped as checked out in 1933, the book could have amassed as much as $6,400 in fines, but thankfully the library, just happy to have the book back, capped their fine at a much more manageable $5. Finally, speaking of long overdue, take a look at an adorable happy couple who just tied the knot at 96 years old. To be fair, Doris Kirks and Carl Cruz, both 96, only met a couple of years ago at their Kansas senior living community, but said in no time flat they knew they wanted to spend the rest of their lives together. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Well, we are just about out of time, but before we go, Simon, what's it looking like in the world of sports?
Absolutely. So there's not a lot at home for Troy this week, but right now the Troy softball team is playing Chipola at the Trojan softball complex. Volleyball and soccer are both going to be heading to Louisiana to take on ULM later this week.
All right. Thank you, Simon.
And Quindarius, what is our weather going to look like tomorrow?
Let's take a look, Emma. Looking at tomorrow, the temperature at 8 a.m. is going to be 52 with 0% chance of rain. Might be a few clouds in the sky at noon it's going to be 72 with 1% chance of rain, and at 4 p.m. it's going to be 74 with 2% chances of rain.
Thank you, Quindarius. That's all the time we have for Troy Trojan Vision News. From all of us here at Trojan Vision, thanks for joining us.
Remember, you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Make sure to tune in again tomorrow night for more news, sports, and weather. Until then, have a good night.
I'm sorry. Okay, you know what? Let's take off his sweatshirt. Get rid of pictures of him. We don't have to look at him. Goodbye, Dave.
Mom, you don't understand. He's tagged in like 400 of my posts.
Well, I can cut out tags.
No, that's not how it works.
What is a tag?
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care would love to share their first with you.